Hi, good morning. You've already heard quite a lot this morning about all the work that's been happening in the West Midlands and in Birmingham in particular to help those on low income houses and how to get grants to everyone who needs them. We're taking a slightly different turn. We're looking mainly at those who are ineligible for grant funding and what we can do to support those households to make sure that they can get support with retrofitting their home. I'm Becky Lane. A little bit about us at Furbnow. I'm the co-founder and CEO, and we're on a mission to help every home get to a warm, environmentally friendly home in the longer run. And how we do this is we are the independent expert to help plan and deliver your home energy project, and we just want to make sure you get it right the first time, making sure you get all the outcomes you're looking for. I'll run through a bit about how we do this, but where I like to usually start is to think about what could you actually do to your home to start with. I'm not sure whether others have already covered this already this morning, but most of the technologies are already there. So first of all, we start with looking at insulating. We look at your roof, floors, walls, what the opportunities are there. We make sure we pair it alongside ventilation to make sure there's no moisture build-up problems, and we're really making sure you've got a healthy home in the longer run. Then we look at opportunities to generate energy or store at home. So that could be solar panels, it could be solar thermal. You might be looking at opportunities for thermal storage or battery storage as well, but making sure it's suitable for your home and at the right time. And then last but not least is switching to a low carbon heating system, ultimately just future proofing your home for the long run. So we know what all the technologies are. They're here. They're listed on the page at the moment, but the really difficult thing can often be particularly for homeowners who don't have that support and guidance, is to know where the best place is to start, because all of them have a lot of disruption and costs associated with them. And when we plot it like this, you can kind of see why people get really confused. You've got really expensive, very disruptive up at the top right, not disruptive and cheap at the bottom left. And the bottom left tends to be what people are most familiar with. They're the quick wins, the easiest things to do. Lots of people have insulated their loft, lots of people have insulated their cavity, they might have added extraction ventilation. But when it comes to tackling some of those bigger issues in the home, whether that be around solid wall insulation that needs to be done, you're looking at insulating the floors, or maybe changing your heating system, it needs a bit more planning and making sure it fits in with other home renovations at the same time as well. And that's kind of what we're experts in. So I'll run through a little bit about the process, and then I'll talk a bit about how we've been working with Birmingham in the area to help provide a more well-rounded offer to those who don't have any support through the grant programmes. So with Furbnow, how does the energy improvement process look? So first of all, we break it down into three really easy steps. First of all, we start with a plan, a home energy plan. I'll go into a bit of detail about all these in a second as well. This is basically making sure you understand all the different areas of your home and making sure that we can take what's called a whole house approach. Then when we have the detail, we know exactly what it is we're going to do, we do that design work to make sure the materials or the systems that are being installed are spec'd specifically to your home. And then finally, when it's ready, we've got everything in place, we install, and then we hand over and commission at the end. A little bit about we take that whole home approach. So right at the start, I spoke a little bit about the different measures that are appropriate. And it might make sense to do one before the other. You could be looking at other opportunities, maybe extending, maybe redoing a bathroom or something similar. And all of these parts of home improvements need to be taken into consideration. Not last, but also inside of that as well, is if you do one particular measure, there could be an unintended consequence from that at the same time. So for example, if you seal up any drafts, you could actually be affecting the indoor air quality of your home. Although you're reducing heat from losing it from drafts, you're actually causing too much of a buildup of moisture in your home. So although it might seem like a good idea to go one route, we're just making sure that we can catch all and make sure they're avoiding unintended consequences in the longer run. Also, if we take that bigger view of the whole home and the plans that you have for it, you might find it's ultimately cheaper to do that work as well. So for example, if you're planning a bigger renovation or maybe redecorating, you might be going back to the plaster at that point, and that is the perfect time to be doing internal wall insulation if that's suitable for your home, rather than go back and revisiting it a couple of years later and spending all that money on redecorating all over again. Those are some simple examples of how we make sure that we start from the picture of understanding where the home is today and what your plans are on your budget and how we can phase that over time. So where we start, first of all, is with a home energy plan. As I said before, this is all about understanding what to do for your home and giving you everything that you need to know and make really good decisions about what it is that you want to do in the longer run. And how we break this down, first of all, is a home energy survey. We have what's called a retrofit assessor visiting your home for 2 to 3 hours. And the things that we're looking at during that survey include building condition. So we're looking at kind of if there are any existing structural issues, ventilation, how it's performing at the moment. Energy, this is kind of looking at the energy performance of the materials already in the home, and also taking a look at your energy bills as well. This will help us understand if there's any other opportunities for kind of generation or storage, and then something called a significance survey. It's a bit bizarre, but essentially it means that anything that we recommend is in the context of your home. So for example, if you're looking at external wall insulation, but actually we find out we can't fit any scaffolding around the home, so there's a bit of a kind of limitation to the installation process, then we'll pick that up in the significance survey. Similarly as well, if there's any planning requirements or conservation requirements, we'll pick it up there. It just means that we have everything we know to understand the context of your property. Once we've finished that, we have all the information we need. We can build up your home energy plan, phasing it in line with your budget and any other home improvements you have planned. So what you want to go ahead with in the next 6 months to a year and what you can leave for the future. We'll just make sure you've got that clarity to make a decision and take action today. And alongside all this, you'll have support from your retrofit coordinator. They'll be on hand with that plan to answer any questions in that phasing process and help you think through what the best approach is to tackle all of those things. By the time you've got to the end of your home energy plan, you should have a really good understanding of where your home is at the moment and have had access to all that support to answer all those gritty questions that you can really get beyond and kind of doing some Google searches as well. This should give you a good idea of what it is you're going to do in phase one. And if you want to proceed, you've got a couple of options here as well if you want to continue with Furbnow. So A, it's kind of what we call DIY. So you can carry on with the design work and installations. You can find those installers yourself. That home energy plan is for you to go forward with. If you need a little bit of help, there's option B, where we'll support you with the design and tendering process, which I'll go into in a second. Basically just setting your project up for success, but then you can carry on with the installation and project managing that as well. And if you're doing a bigger project and you need a little bit more help in coordinating those trades, we can do the design and tendering work, but also manage everything on site as well. So just once you've got that home energy plan, there's a few options for you to choose from. If you could decide to go through with the design stage, this is kind of how we recommend kind of doing it, even if you're going through with the work yourself. So first is to confirm what the scope of work is. So we already have detailed measurements and understanding of kind of the U values or any air pressure, air quality requirements in your home. That just helps us confirm that scope of work, which we take out to tender with our contractors. We're making sure that all the design factors are included, so things we might have picked up in the significance survey, so limitations to the property or conservation, everything is included in that scope of work. We then go out to our vetted contractor network, we request quotes, and then at least 3 for each measure as well. And then we help advise you on those quotes as well. You're completely in the driving seat throughout all of that, but at least it gives you a feeling for what the market is and how different types of installers quote at different levels. You then choose your installers. Your retrofit coordinator will be on hand to help advise you and kind of think about what the implications are of those different quotes. And then after that, help you develop your installation plan. So particularly important if you have lots of different measures installed in your home. It means you know which ones to go first, what milestones go into your project plan. And at the end of this stage, really you're in a really good place to know exactly what's being installed, who's going to be doing the work, and exactly what your budget is going to be required to go ahead. Setting your project up for success and just making sure you're really well prepared is everything in this stage. When you're ready to get going, if you decide to proceed with Furbnow, this is how we can proceed as well. So when you're ready to start, we just confirm that project plan, that the installers are available on the timeline, and you can see everything in your project dashboard, in your customer dashboard area. And then when it comes to the site visits, there's 2 options really. You might need daily site management, so we'll have one of our construction project managers on site to manage every day. Particularly important if there's a really big construction project or home renovation, just to make sure things are being coordinated on site. If it's a little bit lighter touch, obviously a little bit cheaper as well, then we just make sure we visit at key points in the project stages, just to make sure things are going as they should do with the specification as it proceeds. So for example, good chances if different stages in external wall installation might get covered up, if we visited at the end, we would have no idea what the quality of the installation of the insulation would be. So we just make sure that we have those site visits at key quality assurance stages throughout the process. And the final part, once it's all done, then we quality review and sign off. We'll just make sure that everything's needed is in one place. So warranties, any building control inspections, everything in one place. So just make sure you have no issues in the future and you have all the documentation you need. And then a final inspection from your retrofit coordinator as well, just to make sure everything is as it should be. Ultimately giving you a warmer, healthier home that you can enjoy without the hassle. And that's everything that we've built. So every single stage in this process we've built with the customer in mind, making sure that it's as simple as possible for you and we can make sure the supply chain is delivering exactly what you're looking for in your home. I just wanted to talk briefly about the work that we've done with Birmingham City Council. We ran a 3-month project, a trial with Birmingham City Council to help them develop their strategy for supporting every home across the city in improving their home energy efficiency. We did quite a few experiments and are currently at the point of understanding how this will influence some comm strategy and also the wider programme of support in Birmingham. More to come on that in the future. I know Dan might have spoken about this a little bit before me as well, but happy to answer any questions about this and what we did. But if you're looking for support today and if you listen to this presentation, we always recommend starting with a home energy plan. Please feel free to scan the QR code if you're interested in getting started today. If you need a little bit more information, get in touch on the information there. Call us or email in and we'll be able to get back to you to discuss your project. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.